Hi guys and girls, welcome back to another small video of me doing hobby stuff. One of the last videos was what to do with junk sprues, and we all know that's come together pretty fast. So I saw videos online where somebody just tried to melt all these sprues together to get a complete mass of plastic. So what we'll do is we have this wonderful jar of glass, so it doesn't get affected by the aceton that we're going to use. And you see I just cut down a large part of this stuff. You can also just break it or bend it over just to get as much stuff in there as possible. That's some kind of experiment for me because I never did this in person. So let's just see. Now you can see more. Yeah. And I just put in as much as sprues as I can fit in there, so we get the most effort of it. Because even though the aceton is pretty cheap, I have to get it because preparation is everything. So, okay. You just need three things: glass, sprues, and aceton, and I forget one. Yeah, that's the aceton. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get the sprues a little bit smaller so I can fit in a little bit more, because they will need some time just to melt down, I think. Like I said, I never tried this before. I just saw some dudes just doing this, because actually, like when you're buying polysterol or something like that, these plastic sheets to build like bases or yeah, like for arc bastions, or if you want to build like complete vehicles or stuff like that, which is just totally crazy. Those plates are pretty expensive. So I just try to have a look if this is an option to just get this a little bit cheaper, and especially to use stuff that you have already at home, like, yeah, lockdown tactics, blah, whatever. And I'm just wondering to see if this works out, because we all have these sprues. I don't know how much kilos or pounds of this stuff I threw away over the years, which is crazy. So we just try to have a look, because you see, it's due to the bigger parts here, there's a lot of air space in there. That's why I try to get some smaller parts in there. But if my thoughts are right, then while melting this stuff together, it should just settle down. I'm pretty looking forward to see if this works. Because like, I want to build some bridges for my Necromunda, or some basing material for my current Blood Angels army that I'm working on, because I want to just get them done, yeah, as fast as possible, because I don't know how long I will have the time to do this. Like, if you checked out my YouTube videos, they're pretty inconstant, and there's sometimes times in between. I post more regularly on the Instagram because it's just like, yeah, let's build something or paint something, and it's just faster. So if you want to keep in touch, just add Wild West Wargaming on Instagram. If you want to keep yourself updated on the stuff that I do, because for me personally, it's not like I'm like a, let's call it like a miniature magician, like some friends of mine. But what I always want to show is that even though you're a regular guy and you're not painting miniatures like 24/7, or you don't have this massive experience of doing that, you can get so cool final stuff. Yeah, even though if you're not the best painter and you do not have most time to do this, great, just sit down, do a little bit somewhere in a while. Like I have my Warhammer Underworld guys here. They're not masterpieces, but I think they look cool. Second one here. Slacks and Ash. I think I will do a battle report in the next days with them again. Well, because we got the rules a little bit better. Because in the first one, I just wanted to show that it's really that fast. Let's take a look if we have some smaller stuff in here, or if I will refill it. Let's just take one of those. Or, yeah, maybe two out. Yeah, I'm wondering how easy does this work? Like I got these terrain rolls or these structure rolls from Green Stuff World or wherever you can get them. I don't know. And that's just why I think I just tried. And the plan is to get the mass out of this and then just to roll it out to get these kind of bases or yeah, plates to work with. There's something gone. Yeah, I think with those inside, it's whoop. It should be full enough. Then we'll just add the aceton, and then it just takes time. I will just make some pictures or maybe shoot a little video like in some hours, taking a look if anything worked out. I'm using a glass jar here because, like I said, that the aceton does not attack the glass itself, but it will be a smelly event here either way. So you see the glass is nearly full. I have the hatch of the glass. Just put this away. I thought I might get much more in there. So actually be pretty cautious if you work with stuff like aceton, because these warning marks are not for fun. It's pretty inflammable. So let's see that you see anything. Oh, it starts to smell. So it's just filled up to around about half. I think it's here like 3/4 of a liter. That's inside. I just closed this one up. Don't know if you can see it here. Here's where it's swappy. I'm just gonna close this down. And now you see here is the aceton. And I think it already starts, yeah, you can see it instantly starting to work. Like everything getting white. Yeah, I'm just curious how long this will take. I'll just keep you updated. Time walk. It's the other morning. The aceton did its job, actually. It cut down everything. So what I'm now trying to do is open up this jar, take in my spoon, and take in these two rolls. Those are my tank tracks, which I use for my bolt action army, and my factory, which I use on some Emperor's Children bases recently. I'm just gonna try to get some of these gooey plastic stuff out there with the spoon. Just put it on this baking paper, try to roll it out firstly so it can start to dry a little bit. Let's take a look at everything mostly dry. Would have been a smart move to just dry the glass, to be honest, before putting it on this table. So now comes the important part, opening it, taking the spoon and just checking out if there's it's a mess, so you have to work on that because it's not that fluid like I thought it might be. So okay, let's put it on baking paper. Do you have anything to keep it down? Yeah, okay, it's already here. Let's see if we can get a bigger plate, like using a bigger chunk. Yeah, that's what happens if you use like plastic, which is totally crazy because it instantly starts hardening out. As far as I see this here, because the aceton, or I don't know if there's an English special term for that, is keeping it away from drying. See, like this, just like the mozzarella cheese you want to have in your pizza. There's the toothpick I was searching. Let's add a fourth portion. I would actually try to put in this aceton some more sprues, so like if it's reusable, because you see it's pretty yellowish. I'm just gonna close this up because it's smelly. Let's dry this up here again. So I'll just close this down and then just like put it down with my hand like this to get a little bit smoothed up. Doesn't look bad actually. Now we can just use these rolls, like not with the structured part, but first just to roll it a little bit flat. Let's take a look. It looks so gooey. No, No, let's turn it around. Like this. Okay, that's looking actually pretty nice. Just adding a little bit more plastic, gooey, gluey, whatever. I think that's a little bit too much. You can see it right now, but you will see it in some seconds. Because I will add some here. Where's my toothpick gone? I don't know. Just like adding this, putting it down a little bit with the spoon. It's pretty cheesy. Like you see, I can touch it. I can start to touch it right now. Let's just cover it like this and go over with the roller a little bit more, especially here where I added the plastic. Okay, it's getting a little bit too... You see, it's just sometimes where it starts to dry, it starts to get sticky. So that's the point why we use this paper here, because it's like non-sticky. And as soon as all of this has dried out a little bit, I will just try to use the structured sides. Yeah, see down there, it's just starting to... starting to dry really fast now, because the aceton is just leaving everything. I will just try to get it a little bit more smooth, a little bit smoother. And I don't really think that it might be a smart idea to use these structure rolls. Because, simple fact, those are made out of plastic. What I mean by that is, if the aceton attacks these rolls, I'll be pretty sad, because they were kind of expensive. At least what I think means expensive. And I like to use them. Where's the toothpick on it? So yeah, that's just part 1, or mostly part 2, 3, something like that. I'm just going to turn it around, taking a look. I think for me it's still a little bit too thick, but we'll see what we can do there. So, I got some heavy-duty working stuff here. What I will try is if I can use this tank track structure roll on this plastic while it's still wrapped up. So on the first point, don't ruin the structural. But it doesn't work out actually. I have to get back to my heavy duty. I think I'm just gonna let this dry inside this paper, because as far as the instruction worked on the channel or in the tutorials that I saw this, they told to just let this dry, to take care that this builds up a pretty smooth cover, a pretty smooth yeah, surface. That was the word that I was searching for. So I'll just put this one here, right there. And we're gonna take a second portion. Like you see, it starts to go together again. So maybe I will try to put in some more sprues. Oh, welcome. Actually, it's everything. But it doesn't seem to be interested in coming all the way along. So that's part one. Actually, I think that if you like produce some molds with like blue stuff, I think this stuff could be nearly perfect to mold within, or to just put them inside, because it's not that hard to like for example green stuff. So it might be a little bit cooler to just farm this stuff. There's a little bit left. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So there's a little bit sticking to the side, but we don't care about this moment. Closing the jar, because never forget the aceton is highly inflammable, and it's not the best to like breathe in all the time. Just gonna turn it around. And we roll. So let's see how big we can get this one here. Oh, it seems to get very big. Oh, that's nice. You just have to turn it around sometimes to avoid that it gets uneven. I don't think that I will get a perfect smooth cover, because what I don't have is like these 1mm rings or stuff like that you can exactly mount on the sides or on the side of the rolls, so that you can see, okay, I'm rolling it as flat as 1mm, because that's just keeping the space. But to some extent it's even nicer to have it not like 100% straight. Like if you want to use it on the base, what I'm actually thinking of, and you're just like adding some sand or something like to it, it just gives you a little bit of structure. So I'll just go over this once again. I'm very curious how this works out. That's not pretty even. Let's take a look if we can just straighten this out a little bit more. There's something like a curve. And it's actually just like with the big C, we want to flatten the curve. So now if you see this whole package, it's like, let's take a look. I'm just cutting that. There's a measuring. It's round about 10 inches deep. That's also 10 inches. No, it's like 7 inches deep with 13 inches long. So I'm just looking forward. I'll just let it dry, and yeah, let's take a look what we do with it. In the next step, which is just something like an interior step or the interim step. Like I said, I had some sprues, still some sprues left. And what I want to try is I'm just going to cut them down a little bit or break them a little bit. Because sometimes you can break them like this, which is way faster than just cutting them down all the time. And what I want to do is I just want to take a look if this greenish aceton rest, or how do you call it, is still good to do this a second time. Because I don't have any real use for the sprues. Ooh, rhyming. So I will just try to get them as flat as plates, because being honest, there are more uses for like having a plastic plate as a base or whatever for your miniatures, or if you want to build some kind of buildings, or to help you with vehicles. So we're just gonna drop them again, like if they fit. Either way, as soon as they hit the aceton, they will fit pretty fast. And just like I said, sure, the smaller you get those pieces, the better, because point A, you can fit more stuff in here. Point B, the more surface the aceton has to attack, the better it works. So this is pretty great. I think if I have some, I think you can buy some kind of molding structures, like for if you have milliput or resin. And actually I watched the whole interview with Rookery Miniatures yesterday. Was the Iron Within podcast, and it was so kind of inspiring. And I think that especially if you use these kind of, yeah, I just go for it and call it hobby engineering. Using chemics. I think you can make so much great bits for you, or you don't have to invest into all these green stuffs to just get the stuff done that you want. Like if there's, I think there are some like molding forms for skulls or stuff like that, because they actually talked about purity seals. So being honest, I don't think that you can get these pretty tiny purity seals done like with a molding with this, because they're too fine. But like those bigger purity seals for like vehicles or for your average Land Raider or Repulsor or whatever, I think that might work out pretty cool. Actually, you can try to blue stuff this, because there is no point where you can regularly buy them. That was pretty interesting, because the talk was mainly about Black Templars. You know what? Just check it out. The Iron Within Grimdark podcast. It's on YouTube. Maybe someday on some other providers. Let's call it like this. Totally worth it. 1,200%. Even though I don't like the Iron Warriors really. Yeah, I'll just keep on just clipping those together, put this back on the balcony, and yeah, let the time do what she does. I just had to come back to you because actually it's working so great, because you saw the pile that I had lying around here and how full the jar was actually. But with pushing this down, it already starts just to attack the plastic, the sprues, to just, yeah, get them loose, or starts to just attack them. I don't get the real term right now that I'm searching for. But yeah, I just put in the last 3 sprues, and then I just put it out on the balcony again, and let's see what this does. So, time warp. We're back again. So, as you see, the same Aceton stuff that I used last time, also just munched all this stuff together, so you can use it more often than once, which is pretty cool. And we had the plates that we made last time. I still have them here. That's number 1. And that's number 2. So I didn't remove the paper. So let's try this now, because it dried for like 3 days. And it's still sticky as hell. And it's smelly as hell. You still smell the aceton. And I think it's still not 100% dry. But you see, this is the plate. You see, you can just push it down still. So maybe it's not that 200% dry. But one thing you realize is that it has all this kind of texture, which for some reasons could be cool. Like if you want to use it on the base, like you cut it out here, like you said, I don't know, a regular base on here, just cut it out, put it on there, and you have like a little bit something like a more mountainy or more like a realistic texture. You see here, it's just around about 2 millimeters thick. And yeah, something that we can use. Actually, we can cut out we can cut it out. We can just make like kind of walls for buildings out of that. A whole lot of stuff. The only thing what I need to improve still is to get it flat, to get it totally flat. Like I think it was Tabletop Hobbyist or something like that. It was one of the YouTube channels where I saw this. I'm not 100% sure. Let's check out the second one. This. Yeah, same issue. Same issue, but this seems to be, yeah. If you'll just listen here, it's pretty, just like, pretty hard. And this here is just like, that, you see it's not that tough again as it should be. Like you can see, you can push it down here. You can push it really like a hole through it. Yeah, I actually tried to get a little bit of texture with my structure rolls on it, but that didn't really work out well. I don't know where my problem is. You can see like here I tried these factory roll on it. Here you can see some traces of what I tried at least. The funny thing is that it's pretty glazy here. You see like glass. I don't know what happened there. And sure, you have all these little holes from the oxygen that still was inside there. Yeah, what does it tell us? So first, I'm not the best guy to do stuff like that. But you see, like we could have thrown it away, or like let's take a look how easy we can cut that. I just take my super duper hobby knife. Just let's see if we can cut that. So actually you need a lot of force, but it's pretty thick there also. Let's have a look if we just get the second edge. If we get through this a little bit better. Yeah, we're here through, and then we just knock it over. Yeah, you see this one is totally dry. There's actually, that's still moving, but the problem is, I'll just open it for you. In this case, there was too much air. You see there's like a bubble. I just open it up. See, just like a bag, like a bubble inside here. I don't know how I can avoid this. But yeah, like I said, maybe you see while using this one, because it has a pretty clear edge, you can just like cut it into like walls for buildings. Let's take a look. I have Primaris Marine here. Like if you have regular buildings, that should work out from the size. Like for bolt action or something like that, if you make buildings. Actually, you can just take this one, cut it off here, bend it over, and you already have some kind of ruin, which should work. Yeah, you can put it on the base, you can do whatever you want with it. But the fun part is, either way, we would have thrown it away. And if you see, like I have the second portion here, which we can use. Let's take a look. I will just put it down here, just like I did it with the other one. There's my spoon and spoon finish. just give it a try. I think it took a little bit longer than the first batch. I'm not pretty sure about that because I just put it on the balcony and let it stay there. Let's see, batch number 1. Oh, it smells like hell. Let's just try to get 2 portions again. Yeah, but have you ever tried something like that? To just try to reuse the sprues? Have you ever better, like, did it work out better for you? Because I will just take a look at this and let's see what we can do from this point on with that. If we may get this one better than the last, I don't know. One thing that I will change actually is that I will try to set something on it with a little bit of weight. So maybe we don't have the issue with the with like the texture that we don't want. And what I will also try, I will just try to add more sprues in here into the left aceton, maybe to take a look if it still works like a third time. And you see this stuff already starts drying here. Let's just see if we can just push this one down a little bit more. I have to admit, I had it outside on the balcony and it's snowing, so it's like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna see how that works out. Because this is like, if it would dry like this, that would be pretty cool. I will just try to get a little bit flatter to see if we have the option like with the structure rolls, because I don't want it to be too thick, because maybe you can see it. If it dries down like this, you will never cut it. You won't be able to cut it. Well, I always wanted to have some like bolt action or something like these North African buildings, and maybe I can just get enough of this stuff to build some houses like this, or some simple ruins. I have to check that. Yeah, so what do we take out of this video as a final stance? First, I'm not the best guy to do this, like I said before, but it's worth the try because it's actually no real work. You just have to find a glass jar. You just have to find some. I used pure aceton. Maybe that's the problem. Instead of these nail remover stuff. I think I used a slightly different paper for just like getting those drying. The seed starts to stick already, which is just crazy. Yeah, and we have like plates that we can use for different stuff. Like if you still like want to use this one for a base, no problem. Just try to bend it over, break it. So like this. put it on the base and it just looks like any like alien stuff, or like a, I don't know, like if you blast through a ship hull or anything like that. You can do a lot of stuff with that. Like, or if it's just debris, just if you like put these pieces, cut them a little bit smaller and put them on bases, like on terrain that you already have or that you already built, or just use them like bases. Like if you have a ruin, just cut it in the middle. You have 2 bases for ruins. Then you can just put some debris on. Then you can paint, put some sand on it, whatever. And you can just put it on the ruin, and you can put it anywhere, and it just stays together, just like it should, and looks nice, because it has this some kind of organic end to it. I don't know. There are a lot of options you can do with that. Yeah, it would be funny to get to know what you guys have made out of it, or what you think about it, or if you feel, nah, I won't do that, I will just throw it away, I don't care for this. Yeah, just let me know down in the comments. I will be just experimenting a little bit more. Just let me know if you like such kind of videos, because that's more like a reaction experiment. That's nothing that I have invented. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your day, and stay hobby positive.